Hey guys, Smithy here. In this video I'll do a Berserker buff review. Will show you updated test results and tell you my final verdict about the buff. And before we start, let me talk about the sponsor of this video, LD Player, best emulator to play Android games on PC. Smooth gameplay and stable connection, tested by me personally along 3 years in BDM. It supports multiple windows simultaneously to be able to play multiple games or accounts at once. Easy installation process, easy to use UI, and officially allowed to use by game developer. Download now and enjoy the game even more on your PC. As you all noticed from my last 3 videos, I am playing now Berserker as my main character, and there are many reasons for that. First one is I always liked its gameplay and skills effects. But now, such a huge buff made it almost mandatory to play. Not gonna lie, Zerg now feels overpowered. Let's see why. I'm sure that most of you are more than familiar with Berserker skills, so I'll just review the buffs. Berserker's first big buff was in May, when most of classes received damage buff boost, and is when Berserker gained an insane 20% damage buff on all skills, which was big already. But developers didn't stop there and decided to buff him a little bit more by adding the popular lately unique passive too. And let me say, with that passive, Berserker was already good enough to be mained. First of all, Berserker received the second rage buff formed, also with 30 seconds duration. Not only it allows to have rage mode enabled permanently during combat, but also adds few extra effects. The most powerful one is 0.5 seconds cooldown reduction for all skills except buff and black spirit skills for every skill used. For some classes, such buff will break the whole balance in some modes. Considering Berserker insane attack speed increase during rage, the skill cooldown reduction is just overpowered. But the buffs don't end here. Also during rage, while using skills, Berserker is immune to attack speed debuffs, allowing him to never stop the mincer. Another extra, after successful enemy grab, Berserker gains 30% damage reduction buff during rage. And at last the buff resets second rage mode duration back to 30 seconds. Among the other buffs, the charge received immunity to grab during use, and the buff itself was changed to heal only 2000 HP from 6.5. But in exchange, the drain HP debuff effect was removed. All these buffs were crazy already, but that's not all, and developers decided it wasn't enough. And the next week they released yet another buff that broke all the limits of balance meaning. Let's check out how. Second rage mode was changed to be able to trigger it faster, after only 5 used skills instead of 7. A new mechanic was added that triggers second rage mode instantly after Berserker gets downed by any of knockdown effects or grab. 15% PvP damage and 20% PvP damage reduction was also added during the whole second rage mode duration. If we compare that passive with other classes' similar PvP stat buffs, the only word that comes to mind is unfair. Attack speed debuff immunity was changed to have a permanent effect during rage, and not only while using skills. So an already strong passive was buffed even more, making it overpowered. But it's not over yet, another skill was buffed, Reckoning. You know that scary massive skill that does 2800% PvP damage at level 10, has super armor in arena and just make your HP disintegrate? Well, now it's even more scary. New flow was added, Catharsis, and it's a good description to what this skill becomes when used with the flow. It allows to charge Reckoning and after a short time unleash double damage, which in numbers is 5600% raw skill PvP damage. For the record, Void Knight's full stunlock combo is only 5575% raw PvP damage. Once again unfair, I guess. But it's not over yet. Also during the charge of that skill, Berserker receives extra 30% PvP damage reduction buff and he can be grabbed. All I can say, more than unfair, just overpowered. And done with the scary buffs that will most likely will be nerfed soon, let's jump to the tests and the verdict. Permanent Rage allows Berserker to never get tired of shredding mobs, not only on easy comps, but hardest ones too, as it has one of the best PvE kits for farming and boss killing. With all that, Zerg scored 175 kills per minute in Elion and 310 kills per minute in Hadum, very high scores for a melee class. In arena PvP, Berserker didn't feel that strong, but the buffs such as high PvP stats, insane combo damage, 2 skills with immunity to grab and ability to reset super armor skills clearly gave him big advantages. The stunlock combo damage is around 16,000% damage, that can be pushed up to 18,000% damage against some classes with some more risk. Insane for a class with no grab. In mass PvP is where Zerg really shines and opens the full potential of his overpowered buffs. Harder, better, faster and stronger. Perfect description of what can Zerg do in open field. All PvP modes felt more than satisfying on this class, and my high CP allowed to make it even more satisfying. And you can see that in my last videos I posted. Talking about DPS in 5 seconds, Berserker scored an insanely high number of 20,000% damage. Considering that top 2 is held by Nova with only 15,700% damage, Berserker once again makes it to an unfair and overpowered tier. All in all, I don't think there is a need to repeat myself once again that Berserker right now is no doubt the strongest class in game, but it still requires some skill and practice to use it at its full potential. And that was it for Berserker buffs review. Thanks for watching, don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. That was Smithy, have a nice day!